Hey guys, how's it going? Before we begin, just another quick plug. If you're not in the Discord server already, this is your last week to get in for free to make sure you check it out before we go fully paid next week. Also, we're making big moves. We've opened up a Twitter page if Twitter is your thing. So it is at Solopreneur on ONYT. You can see it right there in the bottom left of your screen. Maybe I'll follow Elon Musk right now. Why not? Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back here with another update video, and overall, great day in the market, pretty much no matter what ticker you had. I mean, let's take a look at the heat map here. You know, a mixture of red and green on the board, but big tech was really the story of the day. I mean, take a look at these numbers. Facebook up 8%. We'll talk about that in a second. But Amazon up almost 3%. Google a little over 2%. Apple, Microsoft about 2%. Big story of the day, CRM, Salesforce. If you missed my Sunday night options video about trade ideas, you know I called out Salesforce. They were up 26% today alone. Crazy. AMD actually had a flat day today, surprisingly. Down actually 0.4%. Micron also down about 0.3%. Nvidia was also flat, about 0.2% in the green. But let's get right into it, because if you're following Tesla, you know what I'm talking about. And one of the other things about FinViz, if you're not aware, is instead of looking at the heat map, you can look at the bubble map and you can kind of see, based on the sector, what the kind of standout tickers were. And as you can see, CRM all the way up here, up 26%. Netflix had a great day today, up 11.6%, had a nice peak. And I think this was based off of rumors that they were thinking about buying TikTok, or TikTok was thinking about trying to sell to Netflix. Like I said, Facebook up 8.2%. So a lot of big movers in the tech space today. I believe SPY and the QQQ hit all-time highs again today. But let's take a look at Tesla, because if you don't remember from my prior videos earlier this week, I have two spreads open on Tesla at 1880 and 1875. So that means they're put credit spreads, and I sold the 1880 put and then I bought back the 1875 put so that it's a spread, and they are $5 apart. The strikes are $5 apart. So my max loss is $500 on each spread, and I sold two of them. So overall, my max loss is $1,000. Now, Tesla had a great day today. We were up pre-market. We opened about 1.8% up from yesterday, and then we just rallied all day long. We closed up almost 6.7%, and then even after hours, we're rallying a little bit more, up another $1.83 after hours. So this is what I was waiting for. I wanted Tesla to pop, and we broke above 2100, which is what I thought was going to happen. I think 2200 is now the next stop. Hopefully we get there, but this was great because my spreads, I mean, at the end of the day, I was about 91% profit on both of my spreads. So I sold the first spread for $1.55 in credit, so a total of $155 of max profit. The other one I sold a little bit later in the day for $105 in credit. So my max profit on these two spreads, if I hold them to expiration on Friday, end of day, is going to be $260. Like I said, I'm already about 91% profitable at this position just because Tesla had such a big rally all day long. And most people are probably saying, well, you should have closed out your position, because why risk it for 2 more days just for the extra 9%? And I absolutely agree with you. I was just busy doing other stuff today, so I didn't have a chance to be able to trade or really monitor Tesla. I did peek on it and I saw that it was going up all day long, so I felt good about it and just let it ride. But I just didn't have the availability to be able to place the closing order today, so that's why I didn't close the order. But maybe I'll do it tomorrow morning. I mean, if we gap up green again tomorrow morning, shoot, maybe I'll try and squeeze a few more percent out of that. But I'm looking pretty good right now. Let's just see what Robinhood places it at. So I sold the put at 1880, so it's all the way down here. I love it. The more I scroll, the better it feels. So I sold the 1880 put, and then I bought back the 1875 put. So again, Robinhood does not always report the best values because they always select the mid price. And as you can see, there's quite a wide bid-ask spread. There's a 30-cent wide bid-ask spread for this position, and look at this bid-ask spread. It's almost $6. It's a little under $6, which is crazy. And so if you saw my video from last night, you know that at last night, the value was $1.33. And so that's why it doesn't make sense, because if Tesla went up today and these are now further out of the money, this value should have gone down, right? And that's why it doesn't make sense. And it's actually not even a credit spread right now. It would cost me $1.95, which makes even less sense. So that's one of the things you have to keep an eye out for on Robinhood if you trade, because you need to play with these values, these 165 and 360, and don't go with the mid price because you're going to get a bad fill. You have to put in a limit order at values of your choice that you think are reasonable, and that way you'll get a good and fair valuation on your trades. Don't always click continue or don't always click buy or sell based on what Robinhood tells you the mid price is. Just a kind of pro tip there. So yeah, I'm looking really good on my Tesla spread. Like I said, maybe I'll close it out tomorrow morning if we open up green. Some people are predicting there'll be a red day tomorrow just because today's run up overall in the market was really green, but we'll have to wait and see. I think even if we have a red day, enough theta decay has occurred that I should still be okay. But like I said, I'm 90+% profit, so I'm really happy about these spreads right now. Let's take a look at Space. So Space had an interesting day, actually interesting morning, I should say, because if you don't remember, I own 200 shares of Virgin Galactic because I got assigned puts about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And this morning, so yesterday I sold 2 covered calls for $8 each because, why not? I sold them at my cost basis of $19 because I really don't want to end up bag holding these shares any longer. And we had this huge run up early in the morning within the first half an hour. And I was like regretting selling covered calls yesterday because when I checked in, if I sold covered calls in the morning, they were up to over $30 for my 19 strikes. So I would have left a massive amount of money on the table if I hadn't opened my positions yesterday. But after that, for whatever reason, it sold off very quickly. And so we actually got back down to $7, $8 a contract, which is where I sold my covered calls yesterday. So I felt better about that. But yeah, if I had timed it perfectly, I would have waited until this morning if I had a time machine and then sold these covered calls for like $30 a pop. That would have been crazy because $30 per contract on 1,900 of collateral, the return on capital is insane. Look, it's going to be 1.6%, which would have been crazy for a covered call. But again, you can't time everything perfectly. You don't have a time machine, and there's no point in FOMOing or thinking about what could have been, because at the end of the day, profit is still profit. So even if I collect $8 in premium for 1,900 in collateral, it's still a decent 0.4% return on my capital. So still be happy with that. Like I said, I was kind of hoping that Space would hover in the low 18s because I do want to get my shares called away as soon as I can. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get a rally tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, Friday, and then we'll close above 19. I'll collect my max profit, and then my shares will get called away. That would be the best scenario for me in terms of Virgin Galactic. But yeah, that was my trading day for today. Those are the only 2 positions I have open right now. But other things that happened in the market today, let's talk about Facebook, because Facebook actually hit all-time highs. They actually broke above $300 today, which is crazy to think about. Again, same thing with Facebook. They opened up green and just rallied slowly all day long. And then I called out CRM. Again, nothing I say is ever financial advice, but they had earnings today and they just crushed their earnings. Look at this. CRM opened up 15% up, and then they rallied a little bit and then traded sideways. They closed the day up 26.3%. Crazy. If people kind of YOLO'd into CRM calls, if they bought calls, they probably made out like a bandit. I saw valuations of people saying some of these calls that if you bought them, they were up 26,000%. That would be insanity. I don't think many people were kind of hyping up Salesforce because, it's funny. I was reading articles today and I heard people talking online that nobody really knows what Salesforce does. They make all this money, and their stock, if you look at their stock over the year, it seems like it just goes up slowly over time, but nobody actually knows what they do. If you actually know what they do, leave a comment in the comment below because I'm actually very curious. But I feel like the vast majority of people have no idea what their business actually is, and I don't either. But yeah, Salesforce, just crazy. I had a thought this morning because once I thought that Tesla was kind of just going green all day long. And like I said, yesterday I kind of predicted that it was just a matter of time before Tesla hit 2100. And I forget what it was, but an analyst, I believe yesterday evening, they upgraded Tesla to a price target of 2500. So I'm sure that also accounted for a little bit of this huge run up. But, you know, I kind of thought yesterday that we were trading below 2000. I mean, we were like 1980, 1990, up to like 2020, just hovering around that range. But I knew at some point Tesla was going to break out, and that's why I didn't want to sell my spreads at 50% profit, because I was waiting for that kind of breakout to this upside. And luckily I got that today, or we got that today. But I think right now, I mean, Tesla's at 2150. I think the next stop is 2200. And I was seriously considering buying calls on Tesla at the 2200 strike price. Not necessarily for this week, but I was thinking about it for next Friday's expiration. And that's because between this week and next week is when Tesla's going to do their split. And so I think, or my hypothesis is that once Tesla's stock price becomes a fifth of what it is, and people on Robinhood and Webull and M1 Finance and all these other kind of mobile millennial generation brokers get into it, I think people are going to now buy shares of Tesla or play options on Tesla that maybe they couldn't before. So, you know, I was taking a look at these numbers, and I'm not going to lie, they were looking a little bit appetizing, because, I mean, if we look at 2 weeks from now, or a little over a week and a half from now, I should say, for the September 4th expiration, to buy a call on Tesla at, let's say, 2200, it's only about $90. And I put only in quotations because I do understand that not everyone has $90 to just kind of essentially gamble on. But as you can see alone today, that was up 65% just because of the run up of what happened today. But, you know, I could essentially, let's say I'm lucky enough to collect max profit on my Tesla spreads. And let's say I collect $260 this week off my Tesla spreads. I mean, if I really wanted to kind of play this, I could buy about 2 of these, right? Because it would be $90 times 2. So I could buy 2 contracts for a total of $180 and try and make even more money by buying Tesla calls at 2200. I mean, at that point, if Tesla rallies above 2200, or even if it goes, you know, higher than where it is now, I should still be able to make profit. The nice thing about buying calls is that you have unlimited profit potential. There's no cap on the max profit. The downside is, and my max loss would be the cost of what I paid for the spread. So if I bought 2 spreads at roughly $90 for the 2200 strike for September 4th, my max loss would be $180. And I mean, I could say, well, look, I made, if I was lucky enough, theoretically, if I made my $260 of max profit this week, I could say, you know what, I'm playing with house money. And even if I lose that 180 from these calls, I would still end up positive 180 from my Tesla plays from this week. So something to think about. You know, I am seriously considering it. Let me know what you think I should do. Let me know in the Discord server, or talk me out of it in the YouTube comments below. I don't know. But I'm seriously considering playing with house money. I mean, I'm essentially using Tesla's own money against them and buying calls with their money. That's the way I like to think about it. But yeah, that was my thoughts for today. That was my trading day for today. If you're not in the Discord server already, make sure you hop in there. This is the last week. It's free before we go fully paid on September 1st. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or comments. And as always, happy trading.